Fellas, what's going on? In this video, I'm going to be running through the Amazon KDP printing costs, how you can save money when it comes to, selecting color strategies, basically to be able to optimize your profit margins when it comes to making the decision of whether you should go ahead and publish your book in color. Now, in terms of which is best, guys, you've got three options: black and white, standard color, premium color, and overall it depends. Ideally, always plan for a book to be black and white. What I do is use black line art illustrations, and this way my book still looks clean and I'm able to explain certain scenarios. However, sometimes you don't have a choice, but a lot of people get it wrong. I think you can work around this a lot and still optimize this book in a way in which, it still works well in black and white. For example, you have a gardening book. Ideally, you want that in color, but personally, I think you can make that work with black line art illustrations. And in most cases, I'm able to just work around this problem. However, sometimes you can't. I understand that. And so I have published a few books myself in color. And in this video, I'm going to explain everything you need to know and basically just how to save as much money as possible when it comes to printing the book in color. So sometimes you don't have a choice when it comes to, cookbooks, some children's books, photography books. Use your common sense, whether you're going to cop negative reviews if you don't have this book in color, because the last thing you want is doing all the hard work, having this book in black and white, and then getting negative reviews for it not being in color. Now, in terms of your premium color versus your standard color, premium color is absolutely not worth it at all. The printing costs are absolutely so stupid, so don't even worry about this one, throw it in the bin. However, there is an option for standard color, but it requires a few things to consider. If you do need color, it's an option to go with. You will take a slight loss on the royalties, so just remember that. I'm going to show you all the calculations and what you're looking at in a sec as well. Things to consider though: don't put a book in color unless the minimum price is $9.99 within your competition. Ideally, higher the better. If within your competition it's common to have lower prices than this, you're just going to make it really tough to compete because your royalties are going to be lower if your book is in color. Now, if it's common for your competition though to not use color and have all their books in black and white, you can use this as an advantage over them. And I would just make sure you add a sticker to your book cover, so something like this saying book in color or illustrations in color, things like that, because this can be an edge that you can take over them and therefore price your book a little bit higher and customers know why. Overall though, the main factor comes down to your page count, and this is really the main thing to consider. So your book must be 72 pages or you cannot use standard color. If it's less than that, Amazon's literally just not going to be able to allow you to make this book and print this book. So when you're planning your book, you need to make sure that your book reaches 72 pages. Remember though, anything over 72 pages is more money spent on printing costs. So when organizing your project and talking to your graphic designers and things like that, what you want to do is aim for 72 to 75 pages long. This keeps your margins, your profit margins, as optimal as possible, because obviously the higher you go, the more money you're spending on printing. Now, I'm going to go through how it all works at the moment. So for this example here, you've got your paperback, black and white interior, white paper, which is what we usually go for, and your 6x9, just your standard size. Let's just say the page count is 72 with a list price of $99. You're looking at, on the US, 3.69 royalties. Okay, now let's just say that your book needs to be in color. So what we do is put it here, and then there you go, you're looking at 3.05. So you're only losing about 65 cents when it comes to this. So it's actually not too bad, obviously not ideal, but you can make it work with this page count. Now, quickly, just to show you what premium you're looking at for premium, you can have a look here. 31 cents royalties. Obviously just ridiculous, not worth it at all. Wouldn't even bother. So this is where I was saying to you, the range of 72 to 75 pages is super, super important, because what you need to understand is that the higher you go, the worse it gets. So let's just say you're at 72 pages, 369. Now, let's say your book is 150 pages instead of 72. So you're at 3.19 royalties. Now, let's say that we put the color at standard for 150 page count. You take a massive loss. You're losing like $2. So as you can see, the more your page count goes up, the more you take a loss when it comes to selecting your book in color. For this reason, I do not publish a book in color unless that page range of 72 to 75 can be done. So if you think you can't explain this topic or this keyword that you have, this book that you have within that page range, I wouldn't bother, because you do not want to go too higher than in your 70s range. Obviously, things change with the list price, but it's basically the same. If your book's $11.99, it's just still not worth it. You've got 150 pages at $11.99 list price, and you're still only getting $2 royalties. So just something to keep in mind, guys. This is how I run, the situation if I'm in it. Obviously, premium's not worth it at all. Standard can be worth it, just being within that range. So overall, I always plan books to be in black and white. I do my absolute best to be able to work around this, use black line out illustrations, and still make the book look clean, hire a graphic designer from Upwork, these types of things, in order to be able to just keep those profit margins really strong. But when I don't have a choice, I use standard color and just make sure that the page count range is where it's at, as I said. Now, if not, I usually stay away. An exception, though, would be books that are priced higher in the keyword, so you have more room to work with. However, usually you're dealing with like your low to mid content books that are for kids. Obviously, color's more important for kids, these types of things. So the prices are usually low when it comes to these situations. But if for some reason this keyword you're looking at has prices of $11.99 to $14.99, even higher, like cookbooks, for example, then you can have more room to work with and you can take more risks when it comes to this situation. But yeah, guys, this is how I run through it. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments and I'll help you guys out there. Thanks for watching the video, though, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.